Because it's important that they learn skills. And that's why I wanted to write this book, was to give the children and the parents some skills, like something as simple as when they're about to tantrum or they feel overloaded, to take a breath, to just take a breath and self-regulate, center themselves, and know that they could do something and learn how to set a boundary. As many empaths don't know how to set boundaries. They just listen forever. Now, children have that with other children. Other children come to them and talk to them endlessly about their problems.
They come to the empath. They come to the sensitive person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And so they have to learn how to say no to that. And they're afraid of losing friends if they say no. So the conversation is with the parent, with the educator, with the friend, and tell them how to navigate this.
Peace and riches blessings. I am Michael B. Beckwith, the host of Take Back Your Mind. Peace and riches blessings, everyone, and welcome to Take Back Your Mind podcast. I'm your host, Michael B. Beckwith, and every week I get to have an opportunity to have great conversations with individuals who are assisting others in taking back their mind according to their uniqueness. Today, I have Dr. Judith Orloff with me. Dr. Judy, how you doing?
Hi, Michael.
It's okay if I call you doctor? Just call you Judy. Well, let me tell you about her. Why? New York Times bestselling author. She's a psychiatrist and an empath. She's the author of the new children's book, The Highly Sensitive Rabbit, which is about a caring cottontail who is shamed for her sensitivities, but then learns to embrace them. Judy's other books include The Genius of Empathy, The Empath Survival Guide, and Thriving as an Empath. In her medical practice, she specializes in treating highly sensitive people. Her work has been featured on The Today Show, CNN, Oprah Magazine, New York Times, USA Today, and she has spoken at Google-LA and TEDx, and she's been with me before. We know each other. And I have her back again, because we're going to talk about this rabbit. Judith, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad to be with you, be in conversation.
Absolutely. Now, why did you write a book about the sensitive rabbit? What was your motivation? It's a children's book, right?
It's a children's book, and it's for every adult with an inner sensitive child within that needs to be cared for and connected to and brought everywhere you go in your life. So it's for adults with the inner child, and it's for children, it's for their parents, it's for friends of children, it's for educators, it's for everyone who perhaps doesn't understand the highly sensitive child and would like to learn more.
So there are children that get that are sensitive, but they get called overly sensitive when they're growing up in school. And this particular book will help them as well and help the parents of these people. So why do people call them oversensitive? What is the
Well, I know when I was growing up, my mother, who was a physician, would look at me and say, "You're overly sensitive. You need to have a thicker skin. You'll never belong anywhere. You're going to be considered weird." And, she kept, saying that over and over again. So I grew up believing there was something wrong with me. And her reason for telling me that was to protect me. She wanted me to have a happy life, and she felt that my sensitivities, my intuition, my empathy, my ability to sense energy was just not mainstream enough.
Because you're not only an empath, but you have a highly intuitive faculty.
Yes,
for individuals. So I imagine that helps you in your practice too.
Oh, it's invaluable.
So why do you think so many people get called this? What is it? Is it a unconscious bullying or just not understanding?
It's not understanding. It's being cruel. I won't give away the book, but in the book, she's called a crybaby. or she's called too emotional, or I don't want to play with her, or she's so weird. That kind of thing that builds up in a child. And if the parent doesn't know how to swoop in and help in those kind of situations, it can really leave a child with a feeling of shame.
Right. So how can a sensitive child center themselves in a greater sense of confidence or be unbothered, kind of, if that's possible?
It is possible. And to be centered. To learn how to, to be centered, because it's important that they learn skills. And that's why I wanted to write this book, was to give the children and the parents some skills, like something as simple as when they're about to tantrum or they feel overloaded, to take a breath, to just take a breath and self-regulate, center themselves, and know that they could do something and learn how to set a boundary. Because many empaths don't know how to set boundaries. They just listen forever. Now, children have that with other children. Other children come to them and talk to them endlessly about their problems.
They come to the empath. They come to the sensitive person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And so they have to learn how to say no to that. And they're afraid of losing friends if they say no. So the conversation is with the parent, with the educator, with the friend, and tell them how to navigate this. I wish I had a kind of a wisdom school when I was growing up that tell me what to do. I had no idea. I just kept thinking there was something wrong with me. And so my solution at that point, which I don't recommend for anyone, is that I got really involved with drugs and just to squash my abilities. I wanted to go out to parties. I didn't want to have to deal with, all the sensitivity in myself because I had no help. I felt all alone. And so I got involved with drugs to squash it. And
a lot of people do that. They do alcohol and drugs as a kind of a coping mechanism to their sensitivities.
Oh, yes.
They think they're just getting high and escaping, but they're actually escaping and kind of blotting out their own sensitivity.
Right, because they don't know what to do with them. And they feel like when I had it, I wish I didn't have them.
Right.
I wish that I could be like other people and enjoy these loud parties. And why was I so sensitive to noise?
Right.
And smells and talking. Always the excessive talking has just thrown me over the edge, as is true with many sensitive children. They don't like a lot of talking. That will agitate them.
They like to be by themselves.
Yeah, by themselves or with a friend and in quiet time. And in the story of the highly sensitive rabbit, she gets to meet other animals who teach her the importance of being alone and the importance of also being with others, someone else, somebody that believes in you, somebody who understands you. And it's okay to say, no, I don't want to be with that person either. I want to be alone now. So to have the options of how to be and to feel legitimized. That's what I wanted to do with this book, because I feel that the children are going to take over the world, as they should. They're going to inherit the world, and they need to be in good shape, these children.
To say the least, yeah.
They do. Yeah. And they could be trained now. And it can make a big difference as compared to myself, where I had to be an adult to figure this out and to get the necessary help, the right help, not the wrong help.
Yeah. So you think it's important, too, that they're able to talk to somebody.
Somebody who understands.
Yeah. Do you deal with children in your practice as well? Or just the parents?
I deal with the parents and teenagers and some children that, they come in, but I'll refer to somebody who could really, works with children. But it's so important that you get the right help. There's so many psychiatrists and psychologists out there who will give the wrong help.
Right.
They'll give medication.
Right.
For these children, or they'll give
medication instead of meditation.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I was just reading the article in I think it was Baltimore, where they got rid of detention. Instead, they put the kids on meditation timeout. Have you read that?
Meditation timeout?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And there's been no more detention.
Oh, that's good.
The kids are like centering.
Good. They need to learn it. That's productive. Going to detention will do nothing.
Right. Now, the story of the highly sensitive rabbit is about Aurora. I know we're giving away a little bit of the book here. This Aurora feels overly overwhelmed. And what would you advise her? What would you advise this sensitive rabbit?
The sensitive rabbit went through a lot of turmoil and feeling alone and feeling like there was something wrong with her. And then there was a big storm that came, and there was lightning and thunder, and she was left alone in the desert, and her house was swept away, and she had no home. She had her family and they had to rebuild. But it was in that time that she began to take a few steps beyond where she usually goes and meet the other desert animals who would come and give her advice. Now, this is what you do if you're feeling overwhelmed. You take a breath. This is what you do if you need to quiet everything down. You take alone time, or you find a friend who understands. This is what you do. And so different animals came and gave her pearls of wisdom, and she learned. She got guidance.
That's creative. You gave the teachings in the form of the other animals.
Yes, on purpose, because I didn't want to write a book with humans in it. I wanted to write a book with animals.
The whole book is animals.
Yes.
So what animals are in there besides the rabbit?
There are about 10 animals, and it's placed in the Sonora Desert, which is just south of Tucson. And it's an unusual setting for a children's book. They're usually in the forest.
Right.
But I wanted the children to see another beautiful environment on Earth and the creatures in it. And at the end of the book, we have a list of the different creatures and a list of the different cacti and all kinds of flowers and plants, so the children could learn about the desert and how beautiful that environment is as well.
Very creative. So what animal teaches Aurora about setting boundaries?
Oh, the javelina.
The javelina?
Do you know what a javelina is?
It's like a coyote kind of?
No.
Oh, it's like a pig.
No. I mean, yes, but no. It's a wild boar.
It's a wild boar. That's what I mean, like a pig.
No.
I know. I'm just saying like a.
A wild boar is a distinct family of animals.
Okay. But it's like a.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. It's a wild boar. Right. So the javelina teaches Aurora about setting boundaries.
Yes.
That's how you have it set up.
Yes, and the javelina is there to look at the moon with Aurora or allow Aurora to be alone.
Right.
And she, to have that instead of, I need to be with you. You're my friend, so I need to be with you. Like, I understand you need to be alone.
I like that because I'm like that.
Yeah.
I like alone.
Yeah.
I mean, I can be with people.
Yeah, I know.
But I like alone.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm the same way, but to have permission.
Matter of fact, I have to have it.
Yeah. But it's absolutely necessary.
I'll go for a walk just to be alone. I just have to be with myself for a while.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's beautiful. You know how to do this now. But imagine like years ago, or go back many, many years when you maybe didn't.
Yeah.
And that's where Aurora started in this book, where she was a caring bunny.
Yeah.
Caring but sad and not knowing where she fit in on the earth. And that feeling of not taking up space and not knowing where you fit in, that could be devastating for children.
Now, all these kids that are going through school that are sensitive, what percentage do you think?
I'm sorry?
What percentage of this?
I would say at least 20%, if not more.
That's pretty big.
It's a lot, and they're so afraid because there's so many bullies out there now. The world is populated.
And they target people that are sensitive.
They do target people, and that's why it's so important if your child is getting bullied is to advocate for them, get the school involved immediately. Don't give it any time and space to develop.
I did that with my grandson.
Did you?
I found out he was being bullied, and he's older now. He's in college, but I remember when this happened, and I went up there so fast. And
good for you.
And fortunately, the vice principal happened to go to Agape. I didn't even know. But I went in and I said, this has to be dealt with immediately because I'm very peaceful and very calm. But he has two uncles that are not like me. I remember telling her this. I said, he has two uncles that are not like me, and if they get involved, it's going to be very different.
Yeah, right.
And she brought the parents in. And the kid denied it and finally admitted it. And I just remember it because I was not going to let this go until I got satisfaction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the attitude to have. And the parents sometimes are not as strong as you, but they need to be. And they need to have the counseling to get in there. And you protect your kid right away. You don't let this go on.
Yeah.
Because the problem is some of them let it go on. And the bullying can be subtle. And Aurora was bullied by her brothers, but it was a subtle. It wasn't necessarily a malicious bullying, but it was, you're so sensitive. You're too emotional. You're a crybaby. We don't want to play with you. Go over in the corner. You know, that kind of demoralizing talk.
So what are some of the behaviors of sensitive people so they can spot it?
The sensitive person likes to look up at the sky and likes to look at the stars and the moon. And I remember when I was growing up looking in the spaces between things.
Wow. I used to take pictures like that. I was a photographer, and I only took pictures of the spaces between the leaves.
Yeah.
And they would capture a different viewpoint.
Right.
Of the tree.
Right.
Yeah.
It's you know what that is. And see, it's so great to have somebody know what that is, as opposed to when you're a child like Aurora and you didn't have anybody who said that. You had people who looked at you funny.
Right.
And, you know, this beautiful being, this beautiful young cottontail rabbit out in the Sonoran Desert.
Aurora bee, right?
Aurora bee, always.
That's funny. Wow.
And that's what I want to get across in the book, the joy. You know, there's so much going on in the world that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's important to feel the purity and the essence of the heart energy and the sensitive beings that emanate that. And to be able to value that and to not let it get squashed by the loud noise and distraction of everything else.
Right. So you're basically seeking to help these sensitive beings embrace it as a gift. That's you're sneaking that in there.
Oh, yes. In all ways, I'm sneaking it in there. It's a gift. It's intuitive. It's connection to nature.
Yes.
It's connection to animals and plants and other people. You care for other people, you know, maybe too much. And sometimes you've got to pull it back.
Right.
Because it's just too much. You can't give everything away. But it's being big-hearted. It's being innocent, you know, in a lot of ways. And it's not being jaded. It's not being shut off. It's not being overly intellectual.
Yeah. I know people will come to me and they're so sensitive to the negative aspect of the world, things that are happening. They'll watch the news or they'll hear some opinion from a reporter about something. And I try to bring them into being sensitive to God, be sensitive to the good. That same gift that's allowing you to feel the seeming negativity that's going on in the world can also be used, as you just said, to tune into nature, to tune into beauty, to tune into love, and let that become a kind of a dominant perception, because that's real.
It's so real. And to breathe it in and to feel it, let yourself feel it when you're around another like-minded soul and who's supportive. You can feel the heart energy and you breathe it in and you get nurtured by it. The sensitive child can do that. The sensitive adult can do that. But to be aware of taking advantage of that. And it's really a wonderful opportunity to be around other people that give off heart energy, the healing energy. The heart energy is the healing energy, and the sensitive person has tendrils like 10 feet off their body to absorb things like that. Like in water, I sometimes feel like I'm in water a lot of the time.
Yeah. Now, your other books have taught people how to thrive with their sense of empathy and things of that particular nature. So you've been teaching this for a long time.
Yes.
In a very powerful way. You're like one of the masters of it. And basically because of your own background in terms of being psychic and intuitive and empathic, and you came from a medical family.
Right.
So it's interesting that you went into medicine, you took your family's lineage, but you've done something different with it.
Right.
Yeah, you like took it to the next level. So you've been doing this for a long time. Do you see any progress where people are becoming more aware of people who are extremely empathic, extremely sensitive, and creating pathways for their success? You see progress?
More and more. No, I'm on the clinical staff at UCLA, the Department of Psychiatry, and I supervised residents with their patients, the psych residents, and I
Mhm.
teach them to incorporate empathy
Mhm.
and intuition
Okay.
into working with patients, and that's what they want.
Yes.
They want to bring in the heart
Yeah.
to their work, and so they go out and they treat more patients, and you know,
So it's
also,
growing.
yeah, it's growing.
That used to be called bedside manner.
It did. It did. I love bedside manner. I'm
Yeah.
such a fan of bedside manner, to go in
Yeah.
and just sit with
That
somebody.
heals people.
It does. It does.
I have a friend that is a medical doctor. Well, he didn't. He's a doctor, but he does other things with this degree. But when he was going on rounds, he would get in trouble for being too interested in the patient.
Right. Yeah.
Is
it's
that true?
It is true.
They would say you're taking too long, because he'd get into want to know their story and be with them and help them understand.
Right.
And he got in trouble for doing that.
No, it's true, because they keep more of a distance.
Yeah.
Like when the experience of rounds, when you go in and see a patient.
Mm-hmm.
So I did my medical school at USC,
Mm-hmm.
and so we were in the county hospital, and the residents in white coats would march in, surround the patient, and here's the little old lady with the heart attack, and they're, just really, very clinical, and she's looking more scared and more scared
Of them.
of them.
Right.
And then they march out, and then someone comes in with the radio, whatever, whoever it is. They go, "How are you doing? It's so good to see you today." And suddenly she relaxes.
Right.
And it's just human to human is better than, the sharpness of the mind and the lack of the heart with that formation, that primal formation around the bedside, which I
Right.
never liked. No, it's not like forming a loving circle. It's just like more of a military formation.
Right. I can remember when I was a young boy, I was admitted to the hospital, and the doctors were trying to figure out what was wrong with me. It was my appendix, but they weren't communicating with my parents.
Ooh.
So my father, my father denies this. He's passed over now, but my mother and I remembered this. He was trying to get the doctor's attention, and the doctor was being very distant. My father picked him up, held him up against the wall, and said, "Listen, I don't know what they taught you in med school, but they didn't teach you bedside manner. When I put you down, you're going to go talk to this boy's mother, and you're going to tell his mother exactly what's going on so she can be comforted." He said, "Yes, sir." My father put him down. He went. And so we would laugh about it years later. He said, "I didn't do that." And my mother would say, "Beck, you did that."
Yes. And Aurora needed somebody like that.
Yeah.
She needed somebody to come in who was strong and to say, "Listen, you,"
Right.
and
Is there a character like that in the book? Or does she just get all of her cues from the different animals?
it's mainly the different animals. There's no humans in the book.
Oh, that's right. Not even having a big bull coming in and saying, "Hey, leave her alone."
Oh, like a protector.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. But she was given wisdom, so she knew how to apply it.
Mm-hmm.
And then her mother was her ally also when she came to understand all this, when all the animals visited and they explained what was going on.
So at the end of the day, what are the main gifts these animals gave her that she ultimately integrated?
The ability to be herself, true and authentic, 100%, without being scared to death all the time that somebody's going to hurt you, and not be in a safety zone.
Mm-hmm.
To feel unsafe all the time. When kids aren't supported with their sensitivities, they don't feel safe. They don't know who they are. They think they're these weird beings that don't have any place anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so once they get, what you can offer them, and to go in and just say, "I see you. This is great. Talk to me."
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly it becomes okay. It becomes, "What? You really understand me?" I remember the first person who ever understood me with this, and I felt like 100 million pounds were just lifted from my shoulders. That somebody understood my sensitivities. It was actually a psychiatrist that my parents had sent me to as a teenager to help me, with the drugs and and the other things I was doing. And he says, he heard me, he understood me. And I actually ended up knowing him for 25 years until he passed over.
Wow. Now you at UCLA for medical school, or you went to SC medical school?
Yeah, SC medical school, UCLA. I did my internship and residency.
Right. Now, before that, what was the name of that parapsychology department at UCLA?
That was Dr. Thelma Moss. She was
Thelma
my
Moss.
mentor.
Yeah, that was. It doesn't exist anymore, does it?
No.
That helped me out a lot.
Did it?
Oh yeah, back in the day, when I woke up, I didn't know what had happened to me. But certain people were at Thelma Moss, and there was research going on there that I studied.
That's right.
To let me know some of the science of non-local prayer, a lot of things that were going on there.
That's right.
That let me know that I wasn't crazy. And I've been for a long time thinking, what was the name of that parapsychology department? So I remembered you were there.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was there. That was my first safe place that I ever went to, that the psychiatrist sent me to.
Yeah.
He said, you need to go see Dr. Thelma Moss. And when I went there, I was so scared. I was this little hippie girl, and I was very scared. And she gave me her keys and put her keys in my hand and said, read them. Just see what impressions you get. What do you get?
Mm-hmm.
And I went, what? And I can't do this. But I closed my eyes, and suddenly I tuned in, and I started getting images from her bedroom and images of her drawers and letters she had and this and that. And I shared it, and she goes, all right, you definitely have a lot of abilities, so I would love for you to come to work in my lab as a volunteer. And she put me to work in this unbelievable environment where everybody was doing all these things.
Right. I remember those days. I mean, I wasn't involved in that, but I had friends that were there, and I studied a lot of the material. But it made me sane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It makes you sane when you're a highly sensitive rabbit, highly sensitive person. Finding these kind of like-minded environments, it makes you sane, as opposed to, I'm the only one here. I'm going crazy. What's wrong with me? They want to put me on meds. This happens to a lot of children.
Yeah, it's happening now.
Yeah.
People are going on medication.
I know. They want to put me on meds. I don't want to go on meds if I'm just voicing the voice of the highly sensitive child, but they don't know what to do.
Right.
And so they need advocates. And this book is about parents becoming their advocates, finding advocates it could be in nature as well. It could be a tree who's your advocate. I mean, I'm a big believer in the life of nature and the ecstasy of nature and the companionship of nature. It's real, and sensitive kids know about that.
Yeah. Now they have scientific terms for like forest baths. Like
forest baths, I know. That's fine.
It's funny to me. You can just go in the forest and hug a tree. You can sit there. But now they have scientific names for it,
Right.
Which is some level of improvement.
Yeah, it's great as long as people can do it, and as long as they feel a refuge and a draw there. And see, sensitive children have a draw. They have something that draws them, and you don't want to shut that off. You don't want fear to come in and shut that sense of being drawn somewhere, because that's really important. They'll be drawn to the right things.
Right.
And so this is where the children need the support and need to know they're not the only ones who are feeling this way. There are plenty of us out there, all of you sensitive children and adults out there. We see you, we believe in you, we value you.
Now, on a spiritual level, do you think? I mean, obviously, we choose our incarnation to come here. We existed before we got here. Now, do you think these individuals that are coming, that are highly sensitive, have a individual and group path or a group gift to give to humanity? And what would you say that is?
I do. I think it's their destiny, and they have the potential to save the world. I'm not kidding. I really believe that.
Yeah, I want you to talk about that.
Yeah, that these abilities, the ability to connect to the heart, to be drawn, to have intuition, to value nature, and not even debate climate change. I mean, that's ridiculous. You have to take care of the environment, and sensitive kids and sensitive adults know that. You just know that. It's not a matter of debating it. It's just we must care for our mother and our earth. And the spiritual force behind that protective mechanism of the sensitive kids coming in to steward the earth, that's really powerful. It's all about a spiritual force, because without a spiritual force, look at what's happening.
So as a sensitive person, do you have that feeling that's why you came? It's like when I was a little boy, me and my friend would lay on the front lawn and we would look up in the sky, and we were like 9, 10 years old, and we kind of would talk to each other about, wanting to make the world better.
Yeah.
We were little kids.
Yeah.
But,
exactly.
But there was a big tree in front of my house, and I can remember that. And I remember the sensitivity. And I remember at one point I got in trouble because I was reading too many books. I wasn't going outside. And then I had to go into sports, which was good for me. I needed that too. I love sports, but you reminded me of my childhood. This book, everything you're talking about.
Right, exactly. And that's what the purpose of the book is, to invoke our childhoods again and to see where we were fed, where we weren't fed with regard to this, and how to create what happened with Aurora, all of the help in our lives today.
Right. That's just beautiful. So like you say, this book is, a kid can read the book.
Yeah,
What
definitely.
age? What age?
It could be 4 to 8.
Okay.
And they could sit and read it with the parents.
Mm-hmm.
The kid can read a page, the parent could read a page, and they can go back and forth and talk about it or not, and just see how they feel.
Right.
As what the book is doing is showing them understanding and saying you're okay.
Yeah.
That's
it's non-threatening.
Non-threatening.
This is beautiful. So obviously you've written these other major masterpieces, and this is children's book, but adult book about children. And so what was the inner feeling that made you want to do this? I mean, I'm going to write a children's book, or I'm going to write a book with no human beings in it, just animals. I mean, did you get this like an inspired hit, or how did it dawn on you?
I had a muse who was worked at my publishing house, and she was my muse, and she would say, "Judith, have you ever considered doing this?" I said, "No," and then I'd sit with it, and I'm getting a big yes. I'm going, "Oh, but I don't have children. How can I write a children's book when I don't have children?"
Right.
But I was a child. Right. I was
we all were children.
We're all I was the highly sensitive child that I get this experience. This is something I get. And so it just resonated with me. And as with all things that resonate and that are meant to be, it came together. It came together with the people. Katie Tanis is a beautiful illustrator, who came in and did the beautiful artwork in the book. And Jen Adams was my co-author, who's had a lot of experience with children's books and taught me a lot about, writing it and keeping it really simple and short, and that the pictures tell the story in young children's books.
And so you didn't have to sell this hard to your publisher.
No, they came to me.
They pulled it out of you.
Yeah, essentially.
Kinda.
It was, but for me, I mean, I live to write. I've written so many books and I live to write, but this was a different experience because
it's your first children's book, right?
It's first. And it was just so joyous.
Wow. And
I found myself, reading it to people, like when they were, I was with someone in the bathtub and I said, would you like me to read this to you? I'm outside the bathtub. And so I read it, and it's just, why did I do? I followed it.
You became a child again.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
I did.
You tapped back into your own childhood.
I did,
but you rewrote the script in terms. I
rewrote the script
in terms of you gave yourself everything you wanted as a kid.
That's right. Now,
so you reparented it yourself.
That's right. I think perhaps that's part of the joy that I'm experiencing with this book because I'm feeling the healing.
Right. Yeah, you healed yourself.
Thank you. That was powerful, Michael.
Yeah, I could feel in your energy.
Yeah.
You did therapy on yourself, spiritual therapy.
And lots of work and lots of acceptance and knowing that I can protect myself. That was a big fear that I had, that I was just too sensitive for the world and everything's going to be too bright, too loud, too this, too that.
But I'm in agreement with you. I think that the people that are coming onto the planet with these special gifts, even autistic people, so they're bringing something that we have to get ready for. We have to even prepare ourselves for it and bring them into kind of like, we've been waiting for you.
Yes.
Rather than how are we going to deal with this person? We've been waiting for you to show up. We need you.
We need you, and here's how we can help you.
Right.
Feel strong.
Right.
As not everybody feels strong, but they can.
Right.
They could be sensitive and strong,
Right.
which is what the world doesn't seem to get,
Right.
how you could be both. But
because a lot of sensitive people, as you said earlier, will try to block their sensitivity with drugs, alcohol, or whatever, but they'll also block it with just becoming like hyper masculine or something. This is very hard. I'm going to close my heart.
Right.
I'm not going to ever be hurt again.
Right.
You know, and I'm just going to go through life like this. And then the best part of them is being stymied.
Yeah.
Because they don't see it as the best part. They see it as a weak part.
They do, because they were bullied most likely.
Yeah.
The bullying is a terribly traumatic experience.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the children's book, the simplicity of it, the simplicity of wanting to help children in this kind of indirect way. It's not like a book, how to, here are 5 steps to, it's, you know, falling in love with the animals and yourself and how ideas can change because of tragedies that happen, such as the storm, and what could come from that. Suddenly the animals come to help.
I love it. 10 animals. What are they? Can you remember? And the gift they bring? I'm putting you on the spot. You don't have to remember all 10. You can give us just a few. You gave us the javelina already, who brought about boundaries.
It's the javelina. It's the little burrowing animals. It's the birds that come and teach the child, the rabbit, about how to fly and how to extend their wings and how to be, you know, a huge being instead of small. And then the mother, who was a rabbit, you know, who would teach the child to be able to love now and be able to accept what she's learned. And so you have all these different creatures who are teaching the child things, and she listens, and it feels safe. And there's an animal that's a little skunk that comes to help. It's so adorable. And she teaches, you know, about the things that can happen in life that are big and can be hurtful, but you can rise above them.
Right, right. I like the way you're going at this. Yeah. You kind of like, we used to call it sneaking the spinach in the ice cream. You know, you have these wonderful animal characters that have a gift, and then you're seeing her become available to the gift and then integrate it.
Yeah.
The rabbit becomes integrated into it. Yeah.
Integrates it and feels that relief that can happen when somebody understands you and somebody can actually help you and give you some kind of knowledge. And it just feels like, you know, where has this been when you haven't had it? And then you get something that feels so right, and to know that you are all right. As the children don't feel that they're all right. They feel like they have to look down. They feel like they're not proud of themselves. They feel shamed of who they are. And it can be very hurtful. And it can be turned around too. So everyone listening here, you know, we're talking about the various challenges of the highly sensitive child. And even if the child has received no help at this point, it can start now. You know, it can start now, and it could start with you, the parent, being able to listen and not judging your child and being able to support your child and who they are authentically, and to listen to what's important to them. Just listen. You know, they'll tell you stories. They'll tell you about their imaginary friends, or they'll tell you about the cloud they saw. And they'll tell you about how school was too loud today and they don't feel good. You know, those kinds of things. So you don't want to be afraid of that. You want to welcome that. You want to embrace the child for sharing their authentic selves. And then you could talk to the child about how to, you know, make them more safe and more comfortable and happier. What can we do? And instead of freaking out when they're tantruming and on sensory overload, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to just say, all right, this is what you do. Take a breath. I'm going to give you some alone time now. Take a breath. Everything is well. And you calm down, and I'll be outside here. So
you're doing a couple of things. One, you're actually creating parents that aren't just sloughing this to the side.
Right.
like waiting for them to grow out of it.
Right.
You're basically educating parents that this is a gift. This sensitivity is a gift. It's nothing you want them to grow out of or hide or let's go be a different way. So you're actually creating a safety zone for the kids, but you're also maturing parents. Just if they just read the book, there'll be a shift in their psychology about their child.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
That's
beautiful.
right. And themselves.
And themselves, yeah, they'll be different. They will be different.
They will be different, and perhaps if they're highly sensitive and never, got these kinds of supports and love, this can start that with them too.
Right.
The healing can begin for them as well.
Right. Because because what you're people calling somebody a crybaby is actually that person is just very sensitive.
That's right.
And it's good to cry. Crying is good if it's appropriate. It's a good thing.
You want to get to the root of it, though. If the child is always crying, you want to find out what's going on in there.
Right.
It's really important.
Not just cover it up.
No, no. And I don't know if you just let a child cry and cry and cry and that will resolve.
Right, absolutely. Not if you're getting the root. Not if you're not getting what's really going on here.
You want to say, I hear you're crying and tell me what's going on, darling, please.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah.
Or what's going on? Yeah. No, I like this. I can feel it's like an internal revolution if somebody actually reads the book.
It is, and it feels like as we're talking, there should be some kind of orchestration behind the book, some kind of music, helping, the visuals. I could just see, layer upon layer of creative.
Oh, you have a little PDF or something, a little file with music on it. They can put it in while they're reading it.
That's true. That's true.
Instead of having like a Star Wars theme, it has a sensitive, violins, and the people are coming into their own.
The publisher, Sounds True, has put something on Amazon where these beautiful pair of hands are taking the pages and turning the pages to music. Nice. And very slowly, in this beautiful pair of hands, of women's hands, and the beautiful music behind it. It just, I keep listening to it because it's so beautiful. They did such a great job with it.
Yeah. I love them. I have a couple of my books. This book is called The Highly Sensitive Rabbit. She has a number of books out there. She's been with me for many years. We've had great conversations. And you may want to get one of the other books. What would be a good companion book for The Highly Sensitive Rabbit?
The Genius of Empathy.
The Genius of Empathy.
Would go very nicely with it because the Genius of Empathy is about tapping into empathy as a form of genius in the self. A genius of the heart, a genius of perception, a genius of compassion. How to communicate in such a way where you can harmonize with people instead of combat them. And to keep your heart open, but not be excessively empathic, which is a message for the highly sensitive rabbit. Because if you're overly empathic all the time, it's not balanced.
Right.
You have to reel it in. You've got to bring that energy in sometimes and find an inner center and go inside with that too. Otherwise, everything can drain you.
Yeah, you're way out feeling all these things in the world, and you lose yourself.
Right, exactly. That happens to so many of my patients. I mean, that's why they come to me, because they're exhausted. They say, I found out I was an empath, and I'm just exhausted, and I'm sick, and I don't feel that this is a gift. What do I do? And so that's the magic question.
And they get to walk with the master who's gone through it.
Oh, yeah.
Who's highly intuitive, empathic, and a real authentic psychiatrist that wants to heal people.
That's true. That's all true. Yeah. And you find somebody, like me or somebody who has this life experience. It's very helpful because nothing surprises me.
Right.
I've heard so many.
You've seen it all, kind of.
I have, and I do have tremendous compassion for this. It's a beautiful path, and it has challenges for children and adults. And yes, you have to learn certain things, such as setting boundaries and putting a shield around yourself if there's,
Talk about putting a shield. What
does that mean?
What
children need to learn too, is to put a beautiful shield. If you're in an environment or in a room, it doesn't feel good, the energy doesn't feel good, you might not know why, it doesn't matter why, but then you visualize a beautiful clear or pink shield all around the body, maybe 5 inches from the body, and you feel it as a protector of your body, a protector of your energy, a protector of everything that's precious to you. So whatever is on the outside that's threatening you at that moment or doesn't feel comfortable, it can't get at it. And so you volitionally put that up. And that's very important for children to learn, for adults to learn, and to be okay with it, to not judge yourself for doing this. Because sometimes people say, oh, I'm so weak. Why do I need a shield? Why can't I just... Well, you use what you've got at the moment that works.
But you're actually developing, you do that enough time, you're developing a part of your consciousness that feels protected.
Yeah.
That feels you're walking in a safety zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're building it yourself. Yeah.
Yes, and people say to me, well, how do I know it's not just I'm being triggered and it's, really me? It's me. It doesn't matter.
Right.
None of this. Don't talk yourself out of it. If you don't feel safe, if you don't feel comfortable, put the shield up and deal with the insights later.
Yeah.
So I really feel strongly about people taking care of their energy fields. It's very important because if you're sensing something energetically and you're feeling very uncomfortable, you put that shield up. It's okay. It's all okay. You don't want to be down on yourself for putting a shield up. It's a beautiful thing to be able to care for yourself and work it through, as everything comes to light.
Now, is the color pink significant, or is this just
a pink? There's a pink right there, a beautiful pink tourmaline, I think.
Oh, yes, kind of.
That's a beautiful pink tourmaline. Is that yours?
Yes.
Ah, it's nice. I like it. I happen to resonate with pink, but it could be any color that you love. It could be white light, could be golden light, it could be sparkling light. Whatever you love and you connect with, that will work the best. But that, you see, it's subtle, it's deep, it's powerful. It's I'm attracted to it. So it's those are the criteria. If you want to work with gemstones or you want to protect yourself, this can protect you too. If it's put in a certain configuration, it protects you, the gemstone, if you resonate with it. And that's the thing with highly sensitive children and adults. You have to resonate with it. This isn't something that sounds good or looks good because it's pretty. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about really tuning in with your sensitivities and feeling what works. This actually feels protective to me in the configuration that it's in.
Beautiful.
But we can feel all these invisible forces.
You can.
You can do.
I know. I'm just saying, but you came in with a gift.
And I've developed it.
And you developed it.
I purposely developed it because it's who I am, and I want to develop it as much as I possibly can.
Same here. Me too.
Yeah.
So as we come to a close of this beautiful conversation, is there anything that you need to say to these people that is unsaid that we didn't cover?
I just feel there's so much beautiful attention there on what we're saying, and I feel the resonance in you, and I hope you can feel this and apply it to your children and to your inner sensitive child, the inner bunny, the inner sensitive being within you. No matter how old you are, it travels with you. It doesn't actually grow up. It's an entity unto itself. And it's someone you want to take precious care of all the time, all the time. And so this is part of you, and I hope you can embrace it. I hope our conversation and the energy of our conversations stimulated something in you that makes you happy, that brings you joy, that feels true to you, and to just know you're not alone and that you're in community here and you have support.
Absolutely. Now, how can people find your work? Well, how do they get in contact with you?
My website is Judith Orloff, ORLOFF.com. The Highly Sensitive Rabbit is coming out, and I'm doing a bunch of LA events for it, book events. One at Diesel Books in Brentwood, and everyone's invited. You can go to my website to find out about my events and the release of the book, which is so exciting. The rabbit's getting out in the world.
Dr. Judith JudithOrloff.com. Isn't she cool? Thank you so much. The Highly Sensitive Rabbit. Get your copy. You know you have somebody in your life that is very sensitive, very intuitive, very open. And as you read this book, it'll also give you insights into how to be with them and not be unconsciously hoping they'd be different. You'll appreciate them for who they are. And it might even be you. So, peace and radical blessings. This is Michael B. Beckwith and Judith Orloff saying, keep your heart open. Stay in love with life. Anchor that with your thought, your word, and your action. Have a beautiful day. Peace and dynamic blessings. Many of you have written letters about how much you really appreciate the Take Back Your Mind podcast and the life questions. So appreciate those letters. Now, our particular program here, these episodes, it's powered by spiritual purpose, but it also has powerful sponsorship. The primary sponsor is Agape International Spiritual Center. So everything that goes on here, Agape is behind it. So what I want you to do, I want you to support the Take Back Your Mind podcast. Go to agapelive.com, make a donation, put a little indication that you're supporting the podcast in that donation, or text the word give to 424-321-6243. Write the word podcast so we know you're supporting this wonderful program of Take Back Your Mind. The secondary sponsor is Neutralize. This is the company that actually produces my particular supplemental line called Adaptogen. I have the super greens, I have the Elevate fermented mushrooms, and a number of other products that are emerging. Just go to Neutralize.com, find Adaptogen, and you know what? Uplift your spirit, uplift your body. Remember to share all of this with your friends and support our wonderful sponsor. Have a beautiful day. Dynamic blessings to all of you tuning in at this precise moment for this moment of meditation. As you've heard me teach over the years, meditation is paying undistractable attention to reality. There are technologies of meditation. The technologies are not meditation. Meditation is that moment when you are undistractable, connected to the presence. Intelligence, love, peace, harmony. I'm thinking about a few days ago when I was practicing meditation, and as I was sitting there, suddenly I heard an inner voice that said, "Here we go," just like that. And I smiled, and in the next moment, this level of coherence around order, unity, love, connection to all life and all beings just emerged in my awareness. That moment, that was meditation. Prior to that moment was the practice of the technology to allow that moment to emerge. And so for those of you who've known me over the years, I encourage people to practice meditation as a way of life. Whatever your technique is, you find one that works for you, and it may change. But you seek to have some level of meditation in your life, some level of practicing, pulling your attention away from the world of appearances, the world that people get stuck in like flypaper. They get stuck in that world. And how do you know if you're stuck? If you have an immovable opinion about something in the world, and it's just you're right about it, and that's the way it is, you're in the world of appearances. Because as the Zen teacher teaches, above all, cherish no opinions. Because what your opinion is basically about something going on in the matrix, something going on in the world. I know it may appear that I'm going off right now on something, a tangent, but I'm not. That in a moment of pure meditation, your opinions drop. And what do you see? you see what's real. The fundamental order of the universe, the loving intentionality of the Godhead. You just see life differently. Doesn't mean you don't have opinions about what's going on in the world, but in that moment, they have been bracketed so that you're living from a higher order of being. That's what meditation does for you. Gives you the context for spiritual insight, a spiritual encounter that changes everything. And you can still have your opinions after that, but you're not ruled by them. You're ruled by this inner awareness. The fruits of the Spirit start to take over. Peace, love, patience, joy, honesty. Oh, that becomes where you live. Becomes your sweet spot. So let's practice. It's only going to be for a few moments, but you never know what can happen in a few moments with powerful intention. Return within in this moment. We have an underlying and overarching intention to wake up to our glorious nature. To have a moment of meditation. A moment of meditation. We're able to pay undistractable attention to reality and allowing this moment to be a seed moment that shows up later on in the day as an insight, a revelation, an inner encouragement. So it doesn't just end when we finish this practice. It becomes a part of our sky of mind, an intention that we carry with us throughout the course of our day, even into our dream life. So as you turn within in this moment and you give thanks, great gratitude that you exist, you establish an intention to wake up to your glorious nature, the unsullied, eternal, forever unfolding nature of your being, your real self. We have an intention to wake up to this. And with this intention, our attention embraces it and it creates a feeling tone of intentionality. We feel, not emotionally, but a feeling tonality. We feel that we are connected to the presence that's never an absence. And here we sit, back straight but not rigid. Hands on the lap facing upward is a sign of receptivity. And we sit with an inner intention to wake up. This is the signal we're giving ourselves. It's time to wake up. Feel into the sacred silence. Give yourself permission to wake up from this simulation and to come into the real. O infinite spirit, divine one, how great thou art, how infinite divine is thy holy name, meaning holy nature in us. I speak the word from this space for each and every one of us to be free today, spiritually liberated, becoming more, never less than our true self. The fine act of beholding the presence and unfolding our good is now happening. I give thanks for this, allow it to be so. And so it is. Amen. As you slowly open your eyes, thank you for sitting with me during this brief period of time. Let's create an inner revolution of transformation for the entire planet. Dynamic blessings. Your time is very valuable, so I want to thank you for tuning in to Take Back Your Mind. If you want to submit a life question, please do so. Email us at podcast@michaelbeckwith.com, and perhaps one day I'll be answering your question that will touch the lives of so many. If you've enjoyed the show, you might as well submit a 5-star review. You might as well tell your friends and family. Let's spread the love. Until we meet again, maintain your awareness. Take back your mind. Because when you take back your mind, you take back your life. Peace and blessings.